Hello, Doodlebug. Right, I know we've just been live and we just went over the Fred West tapes, but I saw this as I was setting up the live earlier, and I was like, "Do I wait till the morning?" Or so I thought I'd just quickly go over the documents. If anybody needs them, you can email me for them. Let me get a banner up for you so you can see my email. They're pretty easy to find. I caught them just passing through a live. But if anybody, hold up, anybody wants them, just drop me an email, and there we go. That one's got my email on, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. So yeah, that's that. Let's get going. So that's all visible on the screen for you. You're correct, TJK. Aurora, I don't think there's going to be many people in here. But let's get going anyway. So let me get the document up for me because you've got it. Okay. So the state of Utah, by and through the Utah County Attorney's Office, charges the defendant with the commission of the following offences. Count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code, and then you got like a little code in there, like little numbers. In that, on September 10th, 2025, in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offence may carry the death penalty or, pursuant to Utah Code, and then it's got the code again, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or indeterminate term. I'm guessing that's meant to say indefinite term, but it says indeterminate. No less than 25 years. That may be for life. Okay, so the next charge is victim targeting enhancement. Let me just get this up on my phone. I can't see the chat the other way. Okay, there's no chat anyway. Victim targeting enhancement. In violation of Utah Code, Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler James Robinson's belief of perception regarding Charlie Kirk's political expressions. Notice, if the tier of fact finds beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim targeting enhancement applies, the sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider the defendant's selection of the victim is an aggravating factor. Violent offence committed in presence of a child. aggravating factor. The sentencing judge or the Board of Pardons and Parole shall consider an aggravating factor in their deliberations that the defendant committed the violent criminal offence in the presence of a child. Count 2, felony discharge of a firearm causing seriously bodily harm. A first-degree felony in violation of Utah Code, got the code, and 3C, in that on September 10th, 2025, in Utah, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, discharged a firearm in the direction of Charlie Kirk, known to have having reason to believe that Charlie Kirk may be endangered by the discharge of the firearm, and the act caused serious bodily harm, injury to Charlie Kirk. I said bodily harm, I meant injury. Victim targeting enhancement. In violation of the Utah Code, Tyler James Robinson intentionally selected Charlie Kirk because of Tyler Robinson's belief or perception of regarding Charlie Kirk's political expression. I think this is all repeat. Yeah, this is all just repeating. So it's about the pardon boards and the parole, and then violent offence committed in presence of a child. The sentence, yeah, that's again. It's just repeating that. Count 3, obstruction of justice. A second-degree felony in violation. I thought you could see my thing then. A second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code. Got the code. On September the 10th, 2025, in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, with intent to hinder, delay, or prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offence, to concealed or remove the firearm used to shoot Charlie Kirk, and the conduct that constitutes an offence would be a capital felony in the first-degree felony. Hello, Karen. Welcome. So, count 4, obstruction of justice. A second-degree felony in violation of Utah Code again, that on or about September the 11th, 2025, in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, with intent or hinder, delay, prevent the investigation, apprehension, prosecution, conviction, or punishment of any person regarding conduct that constitutes a criminal offence, destroyed, concealed, or removed clothing he wore during the shooting, and the conduct that constitutes an offence would be capital felony by first-degree felony. Count 5, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code law. In that, on and about 10th of September 2025, in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, believed that official proceedings or investigation was pending or about to be instituted or intended to prevent official proceedings. Okay, we don't. Or investigation, attempted to induce or otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony, information, a document, or an item, to wit, directing his roommate to delete incriminating text messages. Count 6, tampering with a witness, a third-degree felony in violation of Utah Code. Got the code. In that, on or about September the 11th, Utah County, defendant Tyler James Robinson believed that an official proceeding of investigation was pending and about to be instituted or intended to prevent an official proceeding. Where are we? Or investigation, and attempted to induce otherwise cause his roommate to withhold testimony or information, to wit, directing his roommate to stay silent if police questioned the roommate. They were a bit more than roommates, though, I can tell you that much. Count 7, violent offence committed in the presence of a child. A Class A misdemeanor where in violation of Utah Code. There's 2 codes this time. In that order, on or about September 10th in Utah County, the defendant Tyler James Robinson committed a criminal homicide. Where are we? In physical presence of a child younger than 14, with knowledge that a child was present and may have seen or heard the commission of the criminal homicide. Victim targeting enhancements. In violation of code, Tyler James Robinson initially selected Charlie Kirk because, again, we've said this before. Probable cause statement. Brian Davis of the Utah State Bureau of Investigations, having probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the above listed offence, submitted the following evidence in support of the filing of this information. Just quickly check the chat. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll just carry on reading it, and then after we can discuss it. So on September 10th, 2025, at approximately 12:23, Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking to a large crowd on campus of Utah Valley University, UVU, in Orem, Utah. Counts 1 and 2, police found the suspect's murder weapon, a bolt-action 306 30. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one at all, but rifle nearby. Over the next approximately 33 hours, police conducted a manhunt for the shooter until the evening of September 11th, when Tyler James Robinson surrendered to police at the Washington County Sheriff's Office. DNA consistent with Robinson was found on the rifle trigger. After shooting Mr. Kirk, Robinson hid the gun, count 3, discarded the clothing he wore when he fired the rifle, and told his lover/roommate to delete incriminating texts. Okay, so count 5, and not to talk to police. Count 6, children were present at the time of the shooting. Count 7, the shooting. Turning Point USA, a non-profit organization founded in 2012. Sorry. Founded in 2012, not 2012, by Charlie Kirk, organized a public outdoor event to be held at noon on September 10th, 2025 at the UVU. This event was first in a series of similar events to be held at the college campus nationwide. Mr. Kirk is a well-known conservative activist, famous for these types of events where he discusses various political issues and debates with audience members. His events and comments have garnered a significant number of supporters and drawn an eerie many who disagree with his political views. The event at UVU was announced far in advance and garnered significant publicity and interest. Consequently, several hundred people attended. Mr. Kirk was interacting with the crowd before the event officially got underway. Then at approximately noon, Mr. Kirk seated himself under a portable canopy behind a table and microphone. He began speaking to the crowd, fielding questions from attendees, a format Mr. Kirk commonly used in his events. Mr. Kirk allowed his questioners to approach a microphone positioned directly in front of him. Mr. Kirk's team members were very close to him on the right and left side, as well as some behind his canopy, others at various close locations near him. The large crowd surrounded Mr. Kirk on three sides. Temporary metal fencing separated attendees from Mr. Kirk by only a matter of feet. Directly above and behind Mr. Kirk was the UVU Hall of Flags, an indoor walkway spanning several hundred feet with floor and ceiling glass window which overlooked the plaza where Mr. Kirk was seated. People were in a walkway at the time of the shooting. Approximately 15 minutes into the shooting, Mr. Kirk was answering a question about mass shootings by transgender individuals when a gunshot rang out. The bullet struck Mr. Kirk in the neck. He slumped to the ground almost immediately. The bullet trajectory passed closely several other individuals beside Mr. Kirk, including the questioner, who was standing directly in front of Mr. Kirk. Children were visible near Mr. Kirk's stage when he was shot. Mr. Kirk was rushed to a nearby hospital where he was declared deceased. The medical examiner's report is pending. What's the chat saying? Hi, Jinx. Hi. Rip Charlie Kirk, yeah. Shorty small. Oh, okay, so let me carry on with this. The UVU surveillance investigation at the moment of the shot, a UVU officer, was watching the crowd from an elevated vantage point. As soon as he heard the shot, he began to scan the area for threats, believing a shot came from a rifle because of its sound. He looked for potential sniper positions. He noted a roof area approximately 160 yards away from Mr. Kirk as a potential shooting position and rushed there to look for evidence. The suspected shooting position is adjacent to an open, publicly accessible walkway. To access the suspected location, a person must climb over a railing and then drop to the roof, only slightly below. The UVU officer climbed over the railing and down onto the roof. He then walked to the suspected shooting position and confirmed a clear shooting corridor between the position and Mr. Kirk's seat. He also noticed markings in the gravel rooftop, consistent with a sniper. In the gravel, potentially left by the elbows, knees, and feet of persons in the prone position. Police reviewed surveillance from a camera covering the roof and discovered that the recorded individual dressed in dark clothing crossed railings from the public walkway and dropped onto the roof approximately 12:15. Although the individual moved out of camera's view for a short time, the camera again captured the individual running across the roof. Then, low crawling the area, UVU officer recognized where the suspected sniper had dropped into the prone shooting position. After a short time, which matches the known time of the shot, the individual arose and ran across the roof of the northeast. This discovery led to an intensive review of surveillance recordings to attempt to track and identify the suspect. Surveillance revealed the following: at approximately 11:51 a.m., the suspect entered the campus from the north. He's seen wearing a black shirt with an American flag in its center, a dark baseball cap, large sunglasses, Ooh, sorry. Throughout the surveillance, the suspect keeps his head down and rarely raises his head enough to get a clear image of his face as he proceeds across campus. He's seen walking with an unusual gait. The suspect walks with very little bending in his right leg, consistent with a rifle being hidden in his pants. This unusual gait continues until the suspect is seen crossing the railing off the open walkway and onto the roof where he leaves the camera view. The camera later captures. Oh, good. Ooh, I've added my DNA. The camera later catches the suspect as he runs across the roof and to the suspected shooting position. Immediately after the shot was fired, a camera captures the suspect running across the roof carrying an item whose shape is consistent with a rifle. The suspect is then seen climbing down from the rooftop. He appeared to drop the item he was carrying and hits the ground on the central floor. He then picks up the item and runs towards the northeast end of the campus. Expanded crime scene investigation. Law enforcement officers followed the suspect escape path to the northeast end of the campus, where they believe the suspect left the campus and entered a wooded area. In that wooded area, investigators found a bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel. The rifle contained one spent round and three unspent rounds. This is consistent with the fact officers observed at the time and immediately after the shooting. No shell casings were found on the roof, suggesting bolt action rather than auto loading weapon. And only a single round was fired. Each round in the rifle contained an etched inspection as following. Oh, inscription, sorry. Fired cartridge, no ticks bulge, no ties bulge. Okay. OWO, what's this? Second cartridge, hey fascist catch, arrow symbols. Third cartridge, oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. Fourth cartridge, if you read this, you are gay, laughing my ass off. I mean, the rifle ammunition rounds and towel was sent for forensic processing. DNA consistent with Robinson's was found on the trigger, other parts of the rifle, the fired cartridge casing, two of the three unfired cartridges, and the towel. Law enforcement was unable to immediately locate the shooter, so they published photos of the shooter from the UVU surveillance cameras and asked for public's help identifying him. Meanwhile, law enforcement continued to try and identify the shooter. Oh, sorry. For all the means, the Washington County investigation on the evening of September the 11th, 2025, as law enforcement continued their investigation, Tyler Robinson went to the Washington County Sheriff's Office with his parents and a family friend to turn himself in. Robinson's mother stated the following to the police. On September the 11th, 2025, the day after the shooting, Robinson's mother saw a photo of the shooter on the news and thought the shooter looked like her son. Robinson's mother called her son and asked him where he was. He said he was at home sick, that he had been at home sick on September 10th. Robinson's mother expressed concern to her husband that suspected shooter looked like Robinson, and Robinson's father agreed. Let me just have a quick drink of my pop. while I'm doing that, I know that um, I don't know what that is. I know that in the text message exchange, he was moaning about his dad being MAGA, and that his dad and granddad were questioning him about where his granddad's rifle was, which was a very distinctive and rare rifle, which is the one that he used. Okay. Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson has become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay, pro-trans rights orientated. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a, bio- a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but essentially between Robinson and his father, who had very different political views. In one conversation before the shooting, Robinson mentioned that Charlie Kirk would be holding an event in UVU, which Robinson said was a stupid venue for the event. Robinson accused Kirk of spreading hate. Robinson's father reported that when his wife showed him the surveillance of the suspected shooter on the news, he agreed that it looked like his son. He also believed that the rifle that police suspected the shooter had used matched the rifle that was given to his son as a gift. As a result, Robinson's father contacted his son and asked him to send a photo of the rifle. Robinson did not respond. However, Robinson's father spoke on the phone with Robinson. Robinson implied that he planned to take his own life. Robinson's parents were able to convince him to meet at their home. As they discussed the situation, Robinson implied that he was the shooter and stated that he couldn't go to jail. He just wanted to end it. When asked why he did it, Robinson explained there's too much evil in the guy. Let me just put this lead in my. Oh, Ruckus is here. Yeah, there's just too much evil in the guy. Let me find where I am. I'm just sticking my charger in. There we go. Why he did it, explained there was too much evil in the guy, Charlie Kirk. Spreads too much hate. They talked about Robinson's turning himself in and convinced Robinson to speak to a family friend who was a retired deputy sheriff named Ruckus. I'm joking. Ruckus is in the chat. At Robinson's father's request, the family friend met with Robinson and his parents and convinced Robinson to turn himself in. The family friend spoke to police and reported telling Robinson that it would be best if he brought all evidence with him to the sheriff's office to avoid police having to search his parents' home. Yeah, subscribe to Ruckus Frocks. So where was parents' home? The family friend also asked Robinson if he had any clothes that were related to what he did. Uh, Robinson replied that he had disposed of the clothing in different areas. The roommate. Police interviewed Robinson's roommate, a biological male who was involved in a romantic relationship with Robinson. The roommate told police that the roommate received messages from Robinson about the shooting and provided those messages to the police. On September 10th, 2025, the roommate received text messages from Robinson which said, "Drop what you are doing, look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note stated, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kerr and I'm going to take it." Police found the photograph of this note. Following exchange took place. After reading the note from the roommate responded, "What? Are you joking? You're joking, right?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orin. Is that right? Arim. I'm not quite sure on that one, but we'll have to say it again, hopefully. For a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I've got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I am sorry I involved you. You weren't the one who did it, right? I am sorry, roommate. I thought they caught the person. Robinson. No, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Ironic he's calling him crazy, right? Some crazy old dude. Then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quite almost enough to get out. Quiet, almost enough to get out. But there's one thing vehicle lingering. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't care if it had serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints I had left on him. I left it in a bush where I changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the do I? How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? The only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bold UWU on Fox News, I might have to stroke. I might have a stroke. All right. I'm gonna to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun just for, does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a 2K scope. Robinson, delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has it, who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle. It's very unique. He's calling me right now. I'm not answering. Robinson, since Trump got in office, my dad has become pretty diehard MAGA. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbours here is a deputy sheriff. Robinson, you're all I worry about, my love. Roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't talk to any interviewers. Or no, don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer. Stay silent. Search of Robinson's residence. Okay. Police executed a search warrant on Robinson's residence. During the search, police discovered a shell casing with etchings like the etchings found on the shells in the rifle near UVU. Police also found several targets with bullet holes in Robinson's home. Count one aggravated murder pertains to Robinson's shooting and killing of Charlie Kirk in the manner that exposed others, in addition to Mr. Kirk, to a great risk of death. Count two, felony discharge of a firearm pertaining to Robinson's shooting towards Mr. Kirk, knowing that doing so would endanger those in the bullet's path. The shot caused serious bodily injury to Mr. Kirk, ultimately resulting in death. Count three, obstructing justice, pertains to Robinson's removal and hiding of the rifle he used to shoot Mr. Kirk. Count four, obstruction of justice, pertains to Robinson's removal and hiding of the clothing he wore when he shot Mr. Kirk. Count five, tampering, pertains to Robinson's statement to his roommate, telling his roommate to delete their text message exchange following the shooting. Count six, witness tampering, pertaining to Robinson's statement to his roommate, telling the roommate, if any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Okay. Count seven, violent offence committed in the presence of a child, pertaining to Robinson's shooting of Mr. Kirk in the presence of children under the age of 14 who were visible at the event. Based upon the evidence received from Brian Davis of the Utah State Bureau of Investigations, I have reason to believe the defendant committed the offences as charged herein, authorised for presentment and filing on September 16th, 2025, Utah Attorney's Office, sworn to by Jeffrey S. Gray, Utah County Attorney. Okay. Is everybody still awake? Did I bore anyone to sleep? No? Maybe? A little bit? No? Anybody there? No? Oh, God. I'd like to know more about securing this crime scene. Did you not hear the part where the Utah University officer basically tracked the sound, scoped the area, spotted what he thought would be a good spot, and he went there as soon as possible. But yeah, you are right. It does sound like it'd be more of that. It is a lot to take in, yeah. I'm shocked they got all that in 10 pages, to be fair. Where's my drink? That's done me throat in, that has. Oh. Oh, dear. Don't worry, guys. I won't take any more painkillers. Hello, Shorty Small. Ladies and gentlemen, Shorty Small is an old friend of the channel. She's been around longer than Aurora. Aurora feels jealous now. Oh, stop being jealous, Aurora. Yeah. The police are lucky Mrs. Robinson is more... Oh, God. Careful with the painkiller. I wish they'd fucking do more than just take away the flu. Yeah. Oh, man. That is a lot to take in. But like I said, I thought I would bring this to you guys because the Fred West Live was a bit more for me, if I'm honest with you. I wanted to try something new out, and I had the opportunity with Fred West. There is some more information on Fred West that's just come out, newly released evidence. Someone was telling me about that yesterday, so I will dig that out for you guys, and I'll make like a mini series if you want out of that. I've got some notifications here. Rucker says he's going. No, I'm joking. So, what do you think then, guys? Look at Karen welcoming in Shorty Small. Karen's my loyalist person. Oh, my back. Oh dear. Oh, it's very disturbing. You see, and we've only touched the iceberg. Do you know what I mean? Because they only really talked about a few murders, and there's another house. I'm sure they did things in the other house, and you've got to hear him talk about Anne. I'll tell you what I'll do, Jinx, for that. I'll get a thingy guy. What's it called? Paulie, to dig out the doc. There's a documentary on it called what's it called? I can't think what it's called. I know I've talked to Paulie about it before because he's interested. I actually did that partly for Paulie because he kept asking me about it. But yeah, what a long day on content. How long's this one? 41 minutes to read that document. Jesus. Oh. Kansas City. Yeah, I've got to speak to the lady that was in the chat yesterday. We're going to have, well, we're hoping to have her on. I'm not going to, if she changes her mind, I'm not going to force her. I don't want her to feel like, oh, you committed. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully she's still up for it, and hopefully we can have her on this weekend. She's sent me an invite for those in Florida. I'll put it in the Discord in the area in Florida. They're doing a candlelit vigil, so hopefully we can get someone out there and talk to her about Ian. Right then, guys, I'm gonna leave this one now. We've read the document. The document's covered. If anybody wants the document, I'm going to attempt to post it in my community post. Or I might just I'll put it in the description of this live. So if there's any creators that haven't got it that want it, let them know that it's in the description of this live, and let them happy to have it. I posted it in Jinx's Discord, and I posted it in my Discord. Oh, so I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll be in voices for an hour or so. I think maybe when I start. What's this? What do you mean? Well, I think Ruckus actually posted it just before me. I'll just check to see if Ruckus's was the same. So thank you to Ruckus. Yeah, I'm gonna jump into voices. It's midnight here, so I'll probably spend an hour. Oh, if you're starting a channel, yeah, I'll mod for you. Let me know. Let me know when and everything, and I'll help mod for you. Karen Hicks. Thank you, Frank. Okay, I will love yous and leave yous. I am going to go and lie down. If you're in the Discord, I'll be in voices.